Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. Well, today I have some news about the disastrous launch of The Last of Us Part 1 on PC, as well as PSVR2's launch. There's some reports coming out today that the numbers are a lot lower than what Sony anticipated. So first we're going to start off with The Last of Us Part 2. Now I will say that a lot of players have been experiencing a number of issues with this game, including crashes. Shit, man. And it crashed. Poor graphics, and other performance-related issues. Now, the first day when I was playing The Last of Us Part 1, I did have a host of issues on PC. First of all, it took quite a long time for the shaders to compile. And when I got into the game, maybe about after 40 minutes or so, it just continued to crash. It was just unplayable, crashing every few minutes. So I just had to turn the game off. Now on the plus side, it looked fantastic. It is a great looking game, but I couldn't play it. 24 hours later, fortunately, there was a patch that was deployed, and I can say right now that the game is playing pretty good. Now, if you have good hardware, you're not gonna have any issues with this game. Unfortunately, there are still people having a lot of problems after the patch that have a lower running system. So some people with 3060s, 3070s are experiencing some problems with the game. Now, when you look at the specifications for the game, you do pretty much need a good spec'd out PC, but I will say they can do some better optimization on this game. I have a 4090. I get anywhere from, I would say 80, more around the 90 range frames per second, up to 120. I think personally that my card should be doing 120 FPS solid without any dips. So there could be some better optimizations with this game. So people that have like a 3070, a 3060, people that have 8 gigabytes of RAM are also suffering with this game. You cannot play it at 4K when you have such low RAM. You're gonna have to use DLSS or just play it at 1440p. So I will say it is a disappointing launch to a very highly anticipated game. It didn't go as smoothly as I thought it would go, and I think it just gives the game a black eye because, like I said, it is a fantastic looking title. Now apparently developers are actively working on some fixes, so hopefully this will be patched out in a few days, or at least in a week we can say that this game is running good. So I would say that if you have good hardware, you are capable of running this game. If you have like a 4080, a 4090, a 3080, even a 3070, I don't think you're gonna have too many problems with the game. If you have lower hardware, I would say hold off until the game is patched. Now let's get to the news of the day, and this is the PlayStation VR2 not selling as good as Sony anticipated. Now these are apparently sitting on store shelves, and the initial hype has kind of faded. Now I will say I love my VR headset. I think it's one of the best headsets out there. It's not perfect, it does have some of its issues, but overall it is a really good headset. And I think for the technology that you're getting, I really don't think it's a bad price either. But obviously price is playing a part in this because gamers, they're just not willing to invest in VR. And I will say, although they do have some good launch titles, they could have more killer apps, and I think this is also an issue. Now once you try VR, it's just a life-changing experience for a gamer, but the problem is the price to entry is just a little bit too high for some gamers. Now I think $299 would be a perfect price for this headset. Unfortunately, it's packed with a lot of technology, so that's not really possible. Now when we go over to Bloomberg.com, apparently it's projected that they will sell fewer than 300,000 PlayStation VR2 headsets in the first weeks being in the market, and apparently this is a very slow start for Sony. They're expecting to sell a lot more units. The report goes on to say that the console maker is likely to sell 270,000 units of the PSVR 2 between its February 22 release and the end of March, according to estimates from the research firm IDC. Now Sony wanted to sell 2 million of these units in the launch window, and it doesn't look like you're going to be anywhere close to that metric. Now I will say I love my VR headset. It is a great experience, but like I said, it's very expensive. I know it's not for everybody, and just the price to entry, it's just expensive for a lot of gamers. It's costing more than a PlayStation system. Now this makes you think, did Microsoft make the right decision not going into the VR market? I would say yes and no. I think VR is a game changer. I just think it's the price. The price as well as the software. You need to have the software to support it. There are some great titles on the PSVR2, but to be honest with you guys, I can count it maybe on one hand. Maybe I'll give it 6 really good games. Personally, I don't think that's enough games to make an initial big investment. Now, I'm a super gamer. I'm an enthusiast. I like all this technology, so I usually get all this stuff, but most gamers, they're not like this, and they need to have a reason to invest in this. Now, the only way I think Sony can address this situation is by bringing more exclusive games to the PSVR 2 and as well exploring ways to bring down the cost of the device to make it more accessible to gamers. Now, I don't really know how Sony's going to do that because I do believe they're already taking a loss on the hardware. However, they're nowhere near the 2 million they want sold, so something has to be done, and it's going to be very interesting to see what Sony does going forward. Now, as far as The Last of Us Part 1 is concerned on PC, I do believe that this game will be patched up in about a week or so, and it should be running fine on everyone's hardware. Right now, my recommendation is if you have a high-end GPU and CPU, you should be fine to play this game. If you have a lower end or mid, maybe you want to just wait until the game is patched up. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about all of this. I want to know what you think about the PSVR 2 sales. Let me know your experience with The Last of Us Part 1 on PC, and let me know in the comment section down below. And like I usually say, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And it crashed.